Welcome back, guys. So if you guys have watched the last video, you know that this video is going to be on the top 5 tank characters in Injustice 2 Mobile. Now, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos, they're really helpful in building your best teams in Injustice 2 Mobile. The previous videos have been the top 10 characters overall, the top damage dealing characters, and the top 5 support heroes. And now we're about to do the tanks. Now this is the third component of every best team in Injustice 2 Mobile. So, if we're going to discuss tanks, right? I have a cat. Hello. Anyway, if we're going to discuss tanks, the whole purpose of a tank is to absorb damage while gaining energy, or while the enemy team is expending energy to use their specials to harm your own team, right? So, we've already got the damage dealers. Everybody knows that a damage dealer's purpose is to kill the enemy team. The support hero is supposed to boost your team in some way, whether it's heal them, or remove energy from the enemy team, give you energy, something along those lines. And then the tank is just supposed to sit there and take damage as much as possible. And there's lots of different characters that do this, right? So the first one on my top 5 is going to be Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. So when we look at her, right? Her abilities are full tank mode, full tank, okay? So if we look at her passive, if a teammate is lost, then an Amazon warrior with whatever amount of attack will replace them. First off, that's almost 1,000 attack, that's pretty good, and it can happen once per battle. So essentially, if one of your team gets knocked out, not Amazon Wonder Woman, then she brings in another character that will just sit there and tank damage. That character has shield block. She also has the other piercing strikes and challenge of the gods, but the main thing that you want to be using on that Amazon is the shield block. So, for the shield block, it does the same amount of reduction as Warrior Queen Wonder Woman, whose shield block can do 90% of the incoming damage, reducing the 90% of incoming damage, as well as reflecting damage back on the enemy team. So if we look at her, right, we'll just do an arena battle to show you how you're supposed to be using this. What is this cat doing? What up, Lola? She's freaking insane. So, if we put her on the team with, let's see, we'll do, who do we want to put on this team? It's usually this one, and then this one, and then those two, I think, right? Okay, we'll do this. This isn't, maybe we'll do what's a good support hero? Yeah, I guess we'll do Dr. Fate. Why not? Yeah, we'll do Dr. Fate. So this is a pretty well-balanced team. Damage, support, and tank. So let's see if we can get a maybe a 100,000 threat team, perhaps? There's a 100,000 threat team. And they've got a horrific scarecrow, so this is perfect. This should work out pretty well. So, because they've got horrific scarecrow, my team is going to have an extra 2 bars of power to be able to do my special, right? Which means that because we've got Dr. Fate and horrific scarecrow, my specials that cost 4 damage or 4 power will still cost 4. Now, if I leave my Arkham Knight Batman in and just try and deal damage the whole time, he's gonna get knocked out eventually because these 3 characters are pretty good. And if they use their specials, then I'm screwed. I tag in my tank when I need to absorb damage for a special. So you can see, of course, I couldn't block that one because it was damage over time, but he's got enough for another special now, right? I can block it, and I'm still at a pretty good amount of health. Now, if it was my Batman that was trying to block that, you see how much damage I lost there because I didn't actually click the special in time, my block ability. But now that I've been able to block all this damage, my Batman can come in and finish them off with full health. So my damage dealing character can do a massive amount of damage to finish the game out. Now, if for some reason one of my characters were to die, and we needed them to die because, let's pretend, my damage dealer was really, really low on health for some unknown reason, like they sneakily got an attack in on us and we were like, oh shit, whoops. and maybe Amazon Wonder Woman, my tank was going low on health, we could have swapped in Dr. Fate. And Dr. Fate's whole purpose isn't necessarily to do damage or to support or to tank damage. It's more of to support the team, and he doesn't have to be alive to do that. So we could have used Dr. Fate as a tank to just keep on taking damage while we build up power. And if he dies, we get another freaking character in. We get Amazon Wonder Woman's Amazon to tank for us as well. So we essentially kind of have 3 tanks on this team. We've got Dr. Fate who can take damage, then we've got the Amazon that jumps in if he dies, then we've got our Amazon Wonder Woman. All that amount of time, you should be able to build up so much power that your Arkham Knight Batman or your damage-dealing character can do a mass amount of damage just by tagging in, using his specials or his ultimate, and then tagging back out again, guys. Alright, so the next character is Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd. So, I don't have him yet, so we can't show him off, but he's fantastic. Again, he's got stun chance on Special 1, which means that we could literally just use Special 1, stun them, and build up power if we wanted to, or do damage while they're stunned. Telekinesis, which is crazy. The amount of damage that this does is awesome. So let's pretend there's a character that you want to finish off because he's only got this much life left. You can swap in Telekinetic Gorilla Grodd and tank on it, and then when they try and tag out, when an opponent tries to tag out, Grodd has 10% chance to stop them and deal 304 damage. Now, when you level up and when you get your passive to level 5, then it becomes, I think, 50% chance to stop them from tagging out, which is half of the time, and you get free 304 damage on them, which can knock them out, and if you get critical hit damage and all kinds of stuff like that, then Gorilla Grodd's a monster. He's got also... his health is massive, and he's got PSI, or Psi Shield, sorry, which, again, is one of those things that you need on pretty much all tanks, or, you know, the ones that I'm enjoying right now. Additionally, when you look at his gear set bonus, he's got 10% defense, 5% health, and 10% health, just for the bonuses on his gear, which means that you don't have to spend as many chance effects or talents to get your 75% defense because it comes free with the gear set. That is a good indicator that this character is a defensive character. Alright. So moving on to the next one. Everybody underrates the hell out of this next character. He is a monster. And that is Primal Swamp Thing. Now, he has got the same thing on his gear. 10% defense. Yo, thank you very much, Zalan Iro, for the recent sub, my dude. Much appreciated. I've got a cat going insane on the bed behind me. But yeah, he's got the same gear set bonus. 10% defense, 5% health, 10% health. If you didn't know, those are the 3 pieces, or the 3 bonuses that give you the highest threat possible, okay? If you look at any of these other characters, like Mythic Wonder Woman, her gear set bonus is critical attack damage, attack, and attack. Now, that isn't giving you the highest threat possible, but it is giving you the highest attack possible, right? So that's a good indicator that she's a DPS character. But Primal Swamp Thing, because you don't have to focus so heavily on the defense because it comes in with the gear, you can look at his other traits, his abilities here. Now, Force of Nature, when knocked out, oh, woo, I can upgrade his passive. Sweet. Didn't realize that. When knocked out, a cloned body emerges from the ground with 2,464 health, in which Swamp Thing may continue to battle, max once per fight. So he is similar to, Cyborg. So I was having a tough time between deciding which one I would say is number 3, whether it was going to be Primal Swamp Thing or Cyborg for the tank, right? Because Cyborg has, upon knockout, he revives himself at 15% health once per battle. But his passives are stun resistance. Ugh. That is nowhere near as good as 10% defense. And I've seen Primal Swamp Thing that is over 200 and something thousand threat by himself. So that is massive, guys. So essentially, his whole point, or his whole purpose, is to just sit there and block and die and revive. Now, if you think about the fact that he revives himself is something that a lot of other characters can't do. So if we show you how he can be amazing, right? See if this will work. We'll do. Oh my god, this cat is going insane. You guys see it? Holy shit. So we'll use these three right here. So we got 2 tanks that bring in an extra character when they die. Essentially, Amazon Wonder Woman brings in someone when she dies, or when another character dies. Primal Swamp Thing revives himself when he dies, and we got Arkham Batman. Not one of the best teams out there, but we'll just show you how it works, right? Okay, I think I gotta let this cat out. Holy F. What is it doing? Look at it. It's freaking me out, man. So essentially just sit there, tank, right? People think they lose battles because they're not patient enough, right? Look at this. Look at how little damage he's taking, right? He's taking 93 damage. Let's see how much Arkham Knight Batman takes. 350, 150, 200. Like, Primal Swamp Thing takes so much less damage. I wasn't blocking, obviously. But watch, right? I'm almost at an ultimate just by blocking. Whereas the enemy team is only at 3 bars of power. I know that one of my characters is dead, but he's not really dead, is he? So I can bring in Arkham Knight Batman now, use my special, use it again, because I have enough to do it twice. That's 1 character out. Just tag in your tank again, right? Just tag in your tank and block. Just block, just sit there and block. Doesn't matter. Let her use her special. I don't care. Actually, I'm going to tag in, use my special, use it again. Oh, she backed up. That's annoying. But while she's stunned, take advantage. And obviously, you don't have to be this patient, right? But we've still got our damage dealer at full health. He's out, but now we've got Warrior Queen Wonder Woman to tank. At full health, right? She comes in at full health. Are you going to use your ultimate? No, you're going to use your special. That's fine. Perfectly fine. I'm almost ready. I'm just going to tag in because I've got full energy again. Kill her, and it's over. And my damage dealer is still at full health. That's the point of having tanks on your team, right? You only want 1 tank on your team. I had 2, but you saw, like, it was an even match, but I just sat there and blocked. I didn't even do anything. And then was able to bring in my damage dealer to finish off the game, right? So that's the point of Primal Swamp Thing. The amount of damage that he can soak up is massive. The amount of health he can have is massive. And he helps out teams greatly. Okay, so then we're going to move on to Atlantean Armor Aquaman, right? He is my number 2 pick for tanks. He was also in my support category. So if you guys watched the previous video, you know how amazing he is at staying alive. I can't show you this character. He was my number 2 character, I think, of overall. Oh no, he's my number 4 character on my overall list of characters that you definitely need in your roster. I don't have him, but I'm getting him as quickly as possible by simming his missions every day. But his Power of Neptune ability allows him to drain enemy power. That's a support piece, right? But the fact that he heals himself over 7 seconds, as well as your team, it is support, but he can stay alive for forever. He's draining the enemy team's power and healing. They can only do basic attacks against him, and he's healing through it the entire time. So you should be able to stay alive for forever. There is a video out there of a Atlantean Armor Aquaman killing the heroic campaign Mission 8 Battle 24, last battle of the entire campaign, and an Atlantean Armor Aquaman at 30,000 threat was able to kill that entire team by himself. He is a beast of a tank just because he stays alive. If he only was a DPS, a damage dealing character, then he would be able to do great damage to him, but he would get knocked out. He wouldn't be considered a tank, right? So definitely get Atlantean Armor Aquaman and think of him as a tank. Don't think of him as a damage dealer. Think of him as a tank or a support, but do both at the same time. Play him smartly, right, guys? All right, and then last, we've got my favorite character in the entire game, who I was tempted to put in all 3 videos as a tank, a damage dealer, and a support, but he didn't deserve a damage dealer spot. But he really is, guys. He's a damage character, he's a tank, and he's a support, but mainly he's a, for me, the way I play him, is a tank and a support. So his passive has got nothing to do with tankiness, really. It's mainly support for your team. The reason that he's a tank, and an amazing tank, is his willpower. His willpower mitigates 90% of incoming damage, right? So if we look at this, okay, let me think how I could play this to show you how massive of a tank he is through this, okay? If I go and play... let's do normal, just because I've only got 11 energy. We will do Emerald Green Lantern, I think just by himself, maybe. We'll put Mythic Wonder Woman on the team just to make sure that we don't lose this battle, but this is essentially a 41,000 threat character taking on a 190 threat team, or 197 threat team, right? Let's see how well he does just tanking with his willpower, right? I've got Dr. Fate on the team, so it's reducing my energy cost by 2. And the great part about Emerald Green Lantern is he is Arcane class, which cannot be countered by any other class. So he's not going to take additional damage at all this entire match, right? So we're going to tag out just to gain some power. And again, he gains power, remember. Alright, now we've got, look at this. This is how amazing he is, right? 1. Look at that damage. And now look at how, I'm not even blocking, look how little damage he just took from that, right? And by the time I'm ready to go again, I've got another willpower up. So I'm just going to keep on using my willpower. Look at the damage that he's doing, right? It's amazing. I should have blocked. I keep on not blocking just to try and show you guys how much damage he actually mitigates. But I'm actually losing a little bit of health, so I'm just going to tag Mythic Wonder Woman in just to stand just for a minute. Just so that I can get extra power, right? I'm not really going to do any damage. Just kind of trying to back up so that Emerald Green Lantern can tag back in. But here he is. Oh, he tags in without using willpower. Great. He stuns. This should be Primal Swamp Thing dying for the first time. Use it again to build it back up. He is now out. Use it again. He is now out. I'm just going to use it just in case he attacks me. I'm just going to tag out just so that if he uses his ultimate, my character doesn't die, right? It's not going to matter in a second. I'm just going to tag in and do it. Okay, I'm going to tag in, use it. Look at how much damage that was. I mean, I know that I tagged out a couple of times, but even if I had tagged out, I'm only tagging out to gain energy for Emerald Green Lantern, right? If I had tagged in a tank that you just sat there and blocked for a couple of minutes, if I had Emerald Green Lantern and 2 other tanks on the team, or maybe a Dr. Fate and another tank, he's unstoppable. He's so good when it comes to supporting your team and tanking damage, as well as doing damage. He's really good, guys. That was a 40,000 Emerald Green Lantern. He's really not anything special when it comes to the threat or anything. Look at this. His stats, he's only at 37 defense. If he was at 75 defense, he would be insane. It would be 75 defense plus the 90% defense you get from willpower. He'd be taking no damage, guys. So if you can max him out, he's going to be a monster. You see all of the best the best teams maxing out Emerald Green Lantern because his threat can be over 200 and something thousand. It's insane. So if you want to see how to use all of these characters, the offensive characters, the defensive, the support characters, in really amazing synergistic teams. I don't know if synergistic teams is a word, but teams that synergize well together, check out the next video. It's going to be the best teams in Injustice 2 Mobile. And you'll see how they work together, how you should be playing each of the characters together. Alright, guys? So that is it for this video. If you liked the video, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace, guys.